It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 9th day of March, a Thursday. Coming to you from the Zaandam out in the Pacific. All right, to bring you up to date on the trials and travails of what's going on with the online situation. We do have some news stories, which we'll get to eventually this morning. An owl stows away on Symphony. An Anthem of the Seas delay caused by engine issues. Oh my, do I smell azopods again? The Sun Princess floated out yesterday. The Royal Beach Club will be ready in 2025, and the Tangerine Table. That and much more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, by the way, folks, is National Crab Meat Day. I can deal with that. You know me, I love crab, so and I'm sure I could find crab on this ship someplace today. In the meantime, go out and have some crab for dinner or lunch or something to celebrate. National Crab Meat Day. If you're listening via the podcast, that's one of the few things that I've been able to at least keep consistent through this mess with Google and YouTube. However, I've not necessarily been able to promote it like I normally do. So I hope you are finding your way to the podcast and keeping up with things. In the meantime, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. To search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. All right. I'm still not 100% fixed. What's happening, the best I can tell, YouTube or Google, one or the other, or both, the algorithm can tell that my phone is in Florida and my computer is here in the Pacific near Balboa Island in Panama. We just passed it a little while ago. We're actually approaching now probably the coast of Costa Rica. The Panama-Costa Rica border is about where we are off the coast, of course. But it's determined that it's in two different locations. So every time I try to do something, it reverts back to making me go through the verification process. Nate, my friend and partner, of course, is in Fort Lauderdale and has possession of my phone now. But every time that this happens, I have to contact him. He doesn't carry my phone with him. He's there on business. And then he has to retrieve my phone, go through all kinds of shenanigans to get me back. And that's not only not fair, it's just not right. I mean, he's not in Fort Lauderdale to take care of my issue because the Uber driver knocked the phone out of my bag. So anyway, that's where it stands. At this point, it appears that StreamYard is putting this on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure that it's going live on Facebook and Twitter. However, I can't promote it. This morning, I couldn't promote it at all because we were not back on from the phone side. So there's still some issues, folks. If a day comes up that I'm not on when you think I should be on, don't worry, I'll get back when I can. But anyway, that's what's happening. All right. We'll get to today's story. Oh, yeah, I got to tell you something first about Scoot Around. All right, my buddies at Scoot Around. This, by the way, folks, is multiple sclerosis month. It happens when a person's immune system attacks its nerve cells. There's about 1 million people in North America living with MS, and thousands more diagnosed each year. MS is 3 times more common in women than in men. At Scoot Around, we are committed to educating and making life easier for people with disabilities by providing information, mobility products, and services that otherwise enhance our customers' knowledge, mobility, and most importantly, independence. That's also why I do what I do, folks, not just for our MS portion of the family, but any of you out there that have mobility issues of any type. You can always count on Scoot Around. I have for years and will continue on with them forever. But anyway, Scoot Around's running a MS sale. We'll call it that for the month. It's not just for people with MS, though, folks. It's anybody. 8% off everything across the board. So that's Scoot Around. There's always a link down in the description of this broadcast, so you can get to them. And my SRN number, you can give them. I might make a few cents. All right. We'll be back with the news after a quick break from one of the network sponsors. All right, the first story this morning, and this isn't a fresh story from today. I have to tell you that. I did not see this story when it first came out. And it has to do with one of my favorite ships. The main question of the day is, did the owl get a drinks package? And even better, where would an owl carry a passport? Those are the questions when a burrowing owl was found aboard Symphony of the Seas during a 2-week sailing. The bird was noticed during the sailing, but it was impossible to release the bird into a foreign location. Not only would doing so violate laws regarding the transport of wildlife, but the bird would have been in an unfamiliar habitat and most likely unable to survive. Instead, Florida Fish and Wildlife biologist Ricardo Zambrano came aboard the Oasis-class ship after guests had debarked, and before the next sailing, guests embarked on the ship to safely capture the bird. Crew members helped string mist nets, soft but sturdy nets used by wildlife biologists to capture birds humanely. And these nets were placed across the Central Park area of the ship so the bird could be caught. However, they didn't consider the craftiness of the owl. It avoided the nets for some time and spent time perching on balcony railings, but finally was netted with a hand net as crew members distracted the bird from Zambrano's approach. I got lucky, Zambrano said, an hour after the pursuit. Burrowing owls typically eat insects and occasionally a small lizard or rodent, while the ship's Central Park area does have both natural and artificial trees are there, likely with some insects for the bird to get. Excuse me. excuse me, hey, good heavens, for the bird to catch. However, joking over that one. When it was caught, they determined it was a little underweight. It was surrendered to wildlife officials in South Florida Wildlife Center, where it was evaluated. Though skinny, the bird was uninjured and otherwise good health. They kept it in rehab for a bit of time, fattening him up a little bit, and he was released near Davie, Florida, in an area prime for burrowing owls. That's the whodunit story for today, folks. Okay. Anthem of the Seas had some engine problems. Boy, would I like to have $1 for every time I've said that in the last 5 years. Passengers aboard the Anthem of the Seas experienced a slight delay in arrival times at Port Canaveral and Nassau due to engine issues. The captain informed guests of the mechanical limitation affecting one of the vessel's engine, which reduced the ship's cruising speed. The good news is that the engine issues did not affect the ship's seaworthiness. As a precaution, the crew lowered the ship's speed. In a gesture of goodwill, Royal Caribbean offered onboard credit to guests equal to the value of 1 day of the cruise fare paid. I've gotten no further information if they actually fixed it or if they're sailing around with a bad engine. Unless they've learned how to do something with azipods. If it's an azipod issue, I didn't think they could do that on the fly. Maybe they can. Next story today is from Princess. The Sun Princess reached a construction milestone yesterday when when the ship was floated out from dry dock facility at Fincantieri shipyard in Italy. The float out marks a major advance in the construction of a cruise ship as it progresses toward the completion of interior design work. Sun Princess is the cruise line's first ship with dual fuel power, primarily by LNG, the advanced fuel technology that significantly cuts emissions and marine oil usage. When we see it later on this year, it will be the largest ship in the Princess fleet. All right. Royal Caribbean Beach Club is a project that's been talked about for a couple years. Well, finally, they're planning on opening the new facility in 2025. It's a 17-acre destination experience located at the western end of Paradise Island in Nassau. The Royal Beach Club at Paradise Island will feature a combination of the island's stunning beaches and the cruise line's signature experiences. The Royal Beach Club will differ significantly from the experiences guests can enjoy at Perfect Day at Coco Cay. The Beach Club will be a destination where guests can enjoy the perfect day at the beach while enjoying Bahamian hospitality. My question on this, folks, I can certainly understand having a beach facility in Nassau that's owned by a cruise line. That's a good thing. Are they going to do something to clean up the area around the port? I mean, yeah, the new construction project is great for the port itself, but you still got to get out from the port and go into Nassau to go someplace. And quite frankly, that sucks, especially for our friends in the LGBTQ community, that they've gotten to the point where they're almost afraid to get off the ships in Nassau. So they need to do a little bit more work in Nassau besides just building a beach club. Let's take care of the drugs. Let's take care of the hardcore sellers of wares. And yeah, it's not the most friendly place to be. All right, the last story this morning has to do with the Tangerine Table. All right. In celebration of International Women's Day, that was actually yesterday, but that's okay. Celebrity Cruises is launching the Tangerine Table, a new content series highlighting the number of leaders and crew members across its fleet. Our extraordinary officers and crew are the real stars of celebrity, and it's high time we shine a light on them and their life on the high seas, said CEO Lisa Ludolph-Perriot. It's an exciting avenue for them to share their stories, and by doing so, inspire both our followers and the next generation of mariners along the way. Each episode will be about 10 minutes long and will feature a small group of officers and crew. The first one is a pretty good bunch. It's from the Beyond with, of course, Captain Kate, the first and only American female captain of a cruise ship. She's also the most followed of any captain of any cruise ship on social media. First Officer Elizabeth Marami, Kenyon's first female Marine pilot and first licensed Chief Officer Navigation. Executive Pastry Chef Azizi Shavaz, a Mexican-born master of the culinary art, and Jelena Vukovic, a Serbian-born wine expert who works on Beyond as the ship's cellar master. I think that's a pretty nice program. The Tangerine Table episodes will launch throughout 2023, featuring a wide range of positions across the celebrity fleet. I look forward to watching those. Of course, I'm a big fan of Captain Kate. You guys all know that. All right, that ends the news portion today. Let's jump over and see who's fussing at me in the chat room. At least there is a chat room, folks. I mean, that's the functionality that I'm missing. It is nice that some of you can still get in the chat. All right, let's see who's with us. Mike's here. Hi, Mike. Hot Air Tom's with us. Good morning, Hot Air. Must be at least one crabby cruiser on that ship. Why would there be one crabby cruiser? The cruise has been lovely. Am I crabby? Well, I've tried not to be. As a matter of fact, I tell you what, the Pacific is a lot smoother than the Caribbean was. We did a little rock and rolling for a day and a half or so. And out here in the Pacific, it's pretty, pretty smooth. I can look over the distance and see Balboa Island, as we, like I said earlier, have passed it, but it's still in sight. Dennis is with us. Hi, Dennis. Kenneth is here. Nikki's with us. Says hi, everybody. Joanne's here. Hi, Joanne. Kenneth says, I'm not complaining about 125 inches of snow. Yeah, well, I'd be complaining about that. I'll complain about that for you, Kenneth. Will that help any? There is no sign of snow where I am. Thank goodness. Sonny's with us down in Mississippi. Hi, Sonny. Welcome home to Tom and Cindy. Yeah, Tom was, he was, I think he circumnavigated Africa and rode on camels and tried to get a job as a camel jockey. And Cindy tried to kill him 14 times. That's my story, and I'm going to stick with it. Princess has some great deals going. Hawaii for 16 days. $49 per person. Did I read that right? Oh, $549 per person. Plus you get 250 onboard credit. Can't beat that. That's a good deal. Yeah, there are, if you shop carefully, folks, there are some bargains. You know, everybody said it was going to be more expensive. There's some bargains out there if you're careful. Fincantiati. Yeah. And I probably can't roll the R as much as normal. What I'm finding out, folks, I may have mentioned this yesterday, this awful medication that I'm on. And I was warned that this might happen. It is causing me to, how to put this nicely, cough some of the crud left over from the prostate cancer in my lungs. Now, when you cough that up, if I'm where I can, you have to get rid of it. You have to spit or spit it into a napkin or something like that. However, that's not entirely possible at certain times. And the side effect of that is you get sick. So I've had a little trouble with that. I stayed in my cabin last night. I didn't even go to dinner last night because it was, yeah. It was just like back in the days of hard chemo. So I'm still coughing, as you can tell. Every now and then it'll cough. I've coughed enough that my throat is a little on the rough side. It's not that I'm sick, folks. I'm not. It's from the stupid meds. And I suppose in time that'll go away. I hope, because it's a while before I get back to the oncologist. They haven't done our cruise with you September 30th out of Seattle to Hawaii. Princess, the airfare is outrageous. Yeah, I'm finding out on my trans flights as well. I was in Nassau when the local Zen Bohemians were showing their wonderful hospitality, harassing the tourists. They were also harassing families with young children. There's Kevin, 30 and a wake up from Enchantment of the Seas. Hi, Kevin. I'm glad to be on finally for the last couple days with the problems I've had, my friend. I hope you like Enchantment. Were they worse than normal in the Bahamas? I can't blame them for trying to get business and make money. Yeah, I did. My problem is when the drug folks moved in and they've started, it's one thing for them to try to get you on an excursion or to buy a T-shirt or to buy uh, a pina colada. But then they start trying to zone in on you to sell you pot and coke and God knows what else. That's when it really gets out of hand. Did I catch something from the kid who barfed at me? No, apparently not, because I don't have any signs of being sick. It's just this uh, coughing crap up, which I was warned that could happen. So it's just get through it. Then it says it was very bad sunny. There wasn't the usual strong. This wasn't the usual strong market harassment. This was anti-harassment targeted at them by the local churches and Zions. I would have intervened, but then I would have been arrested. Yeah, you got to watch that. Are you allowed to stop talking, taking that medicine until you get back home? Can't do it. That's what's the other thing from that medicine. It's keeping me alive. So, I have to take that, and then I have to take prednisone twice a day with food. I've been told that it's one thing to skip prednisone once in a while, but absolutely do not skip the Zytiga. So now I got to keep doing it, and hopefully it'll clear up pretty soon. So they were shouting explicit language. They were not the vendors; these were haters. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I need another little sip. I'm getting a little hoarse. I can tell that. Tomorrow I'll be in Costa Rica. I'm planning at this point on doing the show normal time, even though I'm in port because of the issues I've had, not being able to promote it, not being able to get announcements out to everybody. It's been a toughie. Sorry to hear about the health issues. I hope you're feeling better too. Yeah, well, the other thing is, I cough on a cruise ship. You know what everybody thinks. So I get all kinds of dirty looks. But anyway, we'll see. I mean, I don't feel bad today. Last night I felt like really, real cruddy. But we'll see. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Hopefully, my friend Nate is going to get a conference call with one of the app people at Google today, and maybe we can get these issues fixed. And maybe Nate can go back to doing what he's supposed to do in Fort Lauderdale rather than taking care of the old fat travel guy. When do you get off the boat and fly home? I don't know. It's 9 or 10 days yet. 16th, 19th. 19th maybe. Anyway, I got a good bit of time till I get out. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I will see everybody same time, same channel tomorrow. As always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fantastic day, everybody. See you tomorrow from Punta Arenas, Costa Rica.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.